Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is a condensed version of today's episode of Undisputed, handpicked with the best segments and discussions. Skip, Shannon, let's go.
Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed, live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
We got football back. Finally.
Hey,
Feels good.
Finally.
Hey, Jenny, how you doing today? Look
Morning.
at you got the pants on, Jenny.
Hey, man, I should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame because
For
I'm up
what?
for football and you're bored by it. I don't know.
What you supposed to be in
You're
the Pro
more
Football Hall
interested
of
in
Fame?
Jenny than football. Who
I
knew?
started talking. You know what, Skip, baby. You know what? You keep stuff going.
Just because we bring color into our Friday.
He
What
mad.
do you mean about it?
He mad because, you know.
It's always Black Friday over here.
Yeah, it is.
How are you?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Now we have to make this a thing. So there was a ton of preseason football last night, and we're going to get to Cam Newton, Dak Prescott, and Andrew Luck coming up. But hey, let's start with the Browns, because why not? Baker Mayfield made his highly anticipated debut last night in a win against the Giants. He came in late in the first quarter, looked good, throwing 2 touchdown passes, including a 54-yarder to Antonio Callaway. Baker finished with just over 200 passing yards, while the starter, Tyrod Taylor, finished a perfect 5 for 5 for 99 yards and a touchdown pass. But the attention was on Baker, and after the game, he talked about what he can do to improve. Let's take a listen.
I think command of the whole offense, just in general, being able to say the play in the huddle and just slow it down for me, and not having to think about the whole thing as I'm getting lined up, see it and see what the defense is giving me, so I'm able to eliminate things quicker. And so that's what you really want to do when you're getting up to the line. The great quarterbacks are able to have that elimination process very quickly. They know exactly where they want to go with the ball, and then if something happens, they can instantly go to that second read or whatever it is. So that's something I'm working on, but I think that's the biggest progress I've made.
Well, Shannon, from what you saw last night, who should be the Browns starter?
Tyrod Taylor. He's done nothing. He was perfect. He had 2 drives, 5 for 5, 99 yards, a touchdown. I don't think Baker played well. Give him credit for that. Tyrod played 2 series. Baker came in and played basically to the end of the third quarter. So you have to be pleased with what you saw. For the most part, Skip, Baker is in a tougher spot than most of the other rookie quarterbacks because Tyrod is a guy that's taking a team to the playoffs. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback. So they have time. Hugh Jackson wants to win games immediately, Skip, and I believe early on he'll be better served to play Tyrod. Give Baker credit, and I like what he had to say. It's like, the elimination process. I need to be, as I'm walking up to the line of scrimmage, knowing the play that we call, knowing that the defense that they're probably going to be in, and where I want to go with the football. But Skip, he had some throws. He got some happy feet a couple of times. He threw off his back foot a couple of times. He got away with a bad throw once. That touchdown to Njoku, if that's a number 1 safety, he's going to pick that ball.
I totally disagree, but go ahead. It'll be my turn in just a minute.
It will.
Thank you for bringing that up.
That's the very play that Kirk Cousins got picked because he didn't see that safety. He threw that play.
Did you just compare Baker Mayfield to Kirk Cousins?
I'm saying
that was the most blasphemous thing you've ever said on this show.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I did not compare anything.
Yes, you did.
I said the plays are similar. He threw that blind because he did not see that backside safety. But that's neither here nor there. He got away with it. He had another throw, I think it was to Higgins, maybe Callaway or Higgins, or Higgs. Higgins, that's what it is. It was a low ball. He protected the ball, stepped up into the pocket. But I can tell you what it's
C.J. Board on the 3rd and 18.
Yeah,
I think that's
what it was?
Yep.
He's got his position coach and the coordinator's going to say, hey, great job protecting the ball, good job of setting your feet. Now give him a better ball so he can run with it after. Those are things that you improve on. That's what the really great ones do. They're not just satisfied with a completion when they know there's more to be gained after that. But I saw nothing last night that would make me think that Tyrod Taylor did anything to lose his starting job going into week 2 of the preseason.
I don't know what happened last night, Jenny. I don't know. Maybe my TV was broken. I saw a completely different game than my partner, the Hall of Famer across from me, saw. I don't know. Maybe I fell asleep and dreamed it. I don't know what happened.
I think we see the game a little differently.
Here's my takeaway from last night. Who needs LeBron James when you got Baker Mayfield?
Oh, look.
Yeah, that's it. But
LeBron plays basketball.
Summary. Oh, basketball, football. Cleveland at heart is a football town.
It is now.
It is now.
Yeah.
I know it has to be. But it always was. From day one, it was a football town. I've covered lots of football there, and obviously I've covered lots of basketball and some baseball there. But at heart, it's a dog-pound town. And now Cleveland has not only one quarterback, they have two quarterbacks. But I am sorry. After what I saw last night, as much as I respect and admire a Pro Bowl playoff quarterback in Tyrod Taylor, and as smooth and sharp as he was last night, and he was both, it's over, man. That was it. Before your very eyes, you saw a Baker Mayfield who should start on opening day in Cleveland against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's who that guy is. Baker Mayfield is simply better than Tyrod Taylor. He has a much liver arm than Tyrod does. He has much more electric body language than Tyrod does. He creates a much bigger, faster force field just with that body language than Tyrod can. And in the end, this kid is just a competitive ball of fire. That was fire you saw all over the field last night. And Hugh Jackson left him in for 43 of their 63 plays. He plays from late first quarter all the way into early fourth quarter. That's a lot of snaps, man.
I figured he'd get at least 2 quarters, Skip.
Woo.
I thought Tyrod would play a series and then Baker would take it to the half, but Tyrod played 2 series, and so basically he took it to not only to the half, he took it to the third quarter. Let's
keep this in your favorite word, context.
Okay.
What happened? Tyrod got the first 2 series with the first team. He had Jarvis Landry on his side, who is easily Cleveland's best receiver right now, since Josh Gordon is no longer there for a while. And Tyrod was 5 of 5, as Jenny said, for, what was it, 99 yards and a nice touchdown throw, sweet throw to Njoku.
Yeah.
And he basically made a statement. He said, this job is mine. Shannon Sharp bought that statement. This job is still his.
Yeah.
And then this kid came in, and he'd just been challenged by this seasoned veteran, and he said, oh, yeah, watch this. Now, he had to play with a few first-teamers, Njoku stayed in the game.
Yeah, he did.
But mostly second-stringers, and after a while, a whole lot of third-stringers were playing around Baker Mayfield. So it gets a little crazy, a little helter-skelter, and most high-pick quarterbacks, especially first overall pick quarterbacks, thrown into that fire and that situation, being challenged on the road at New York, at the Giants, by not only Tyrod Taylor, but by Saquon, the second overall pick, who just dazzled not only Giant Stadium, but the NFL world with that opening run. Whew, it was a whoosh. So the bar has been set very high by Saquon and Tyrod, and Baker Mayfield says, I own this night. He took the night over from both of those with the bar set that high. Did you see him flinch? Did you see him hesitate? I didn't see anything. I saw poise. I saw pocket presence. I saw him dazzle with both his arm and his legs because he was buying time in the pocket. Yeah. And early on, he faces a 3rd and 6, and he runs for it. And he faced a big 4th and 2 early on, and he ran for it. And I'm not saying he's even Johnny Manziel in quickness or speed, but he's got a little shiftiness to him. He can escape. I'm not saying he's not Tyrod. No. He's no Michael Vick. But he can beat you. He can irritate you with his legs as well as that whip of an arm. So you mentioned that play, 3rd and 18. Remember, this is backed up. You're 3rd and 18 off a holding penalty. It's early. Pressure is on. And he drops back, and he throws a strike to C.J. Board, undrafted. He's bounced around to 3 teams. I don't even know if he'll make their roster. And he threw it into the teeth of his own defense, and it was low because he aimed low. He wanted CJ just to be able to go down and snatch it because it's 21 yards. It's 3 yards beyond the marker. It's a strike. It's a low-called strike for a first down. It's a heck of a throw. I'm
just telling you what the offensive coordinator is going to say, Skip.
Right. Well,
is that right? It is.
Okay.
I mean,
this is your first NFL live action. Yeah. Against a team that is spoiling to make you look bad because you are the first pick in the draft.
But let me ask you a question, Skip. Let's be real now. He's the first pick in the draft. Those guys, a lot of guys that he's playing against, they're not going to be in the NFL come week 1. So
the Giants still had a good number of first-teamers out there.
And I'm not trying to take anything, but let's temper this a little bit, Skip. I mean, he made some good throws. I'll give him credit. But he missed some throws also. If you go back and look, I understand you're a Baker Mayfield fan. I think we look at the game a little differently. We see things a little differently. I just didn't see anything that Tyrod did would make me think, you know what, next week we need to start Baker Mayfield. Right. I can see if he was
Tyrod did nothing wrong. Right. He's just not Baker Mayfield. It's as simple as that. In the long run, the future and the present is Baker Mayfield. And I told you before the draft, he is the most ready to play in the NFL. Not those other 3 high-pick quarterbacks. He is, because he started for not 1 or 2, but 3 big stage years at the University of Oklahoma and played in 2 playoff runs for the University of Oklahoma Sooners. He's ready for this. He's fearless. He's poised. He's just got that attitude, that chip, that walk-on chip on his shoulder where he's just not afraid of the moment. So let's get to second and 6 from the 10-yard line. This is early in that first long drive. And he sees Njoku, who's about his 3rd read, I think, on the play, on the back line. And there are 3 Giants within reach of the football. And he hits Njoku on his trail shoulder. It wasn't a misfire. It wasn't a bad pass where he missed him behind. He threw it the only place he could thread it. And they talk about tighter windows in pro football. This was a tight window, and the ball got there with some mustard on it, and it hit Njoku right here, trail shoulder, the only place he could snatch it, and he did for a touchdown. That's a big-time pro football throw. I'm sorry, game over. It's just, that's it.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. If you look at, what's the guy's name? Chris Lewis-Harris. Now, where's he going? All he has to do is sink. Everybody else is covered. If he sinks and does like Barry Church, guess what? He gets the pick.
Okay, but Baker sees that.
No, he didn't, Skip. He didn't.
It and fires it.
Skip, if you look at Baker Mayfield's eyes, he never sees that 3rd corner. He does not see him, Skip. He doesn't.
So
Baker Mayfield is good, but he's not Tom Brady.
What have I always told you about Baker Mayfield? He is the oxymoronic term careful gambler. I don't know how to explain this, but he is a careful risk taker. He tries throws where you say, ooh, well, again, I'm a big OU fan. I'm watching games where I'm like, oh, no, that's going to be intercepted. He threw 21 interceptions in 3 years. Okay. That's an average of 7 a year. He threw 119 touchdowns to 21 interceptions.
That's great.
Think about that. Last year, he was 43 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. That's impossibly great. The last 2 years in college football, he led the nation in total QBR. You know, it's my favorite quarterback evaluation stat. He led the nation the last 2 years. He's efficient gambling. That's hard to be because sometimes you think he's
Skip, you're putting too much emphasis on that touchdown. First of all, why would you throw it on the back shoulder when the safety is in a trail position? You give him an opportunity to come through and break it up.
It's the only window that opened. Okay. Look at it again.
I did.
I loved it. I did. I just said, that's it. Okay. That's why he's Baker Mayfield and Tyrod is not.
Yeah, we're not arguing that. He's the number 1 pick in the draft. He will play. I just don't think he should. I just didn't see enough last night. Now, who knows what's going to happen in week 3? What's going to happen in week 4? Especially the 3rd preseason game when everybody's scripting. Remember, Skip, when you go up to the line of scrimmage, you call a play. There's no audibling. Defense, they're not going to check. They line up in a base defense. They play a base coverage. So everything is very, very generic on both sides of the football. Now, as we start to go, they'll implement a little bit more. The 3rd game of the preseason, we'll see. Because guess what? You will call plays against their defense and have checks what you think you're going to get, and the defense will call plays against your offense and have checks to what they think you're going to go to.
I got it.
So we'll see what Baker does moving forward.
This is a first impression, but usually the Johnny Manziels get thrown into that fire and they struggle. They're hesitant. They're a little off rhythm. It's hard, man. It's a big stage. And this was the NFL Network's primetime game. It was the first game before the Dallas game, obviously. So let's get to the last throw of the night, another 3rd down throw. And what happened before that play? The receiver in question is one Antonio Callaway. He's still in the game. It's early 4th quarter. Again, Baker Mayfield has played 43 snaps of their 63, which I didn't get that because I think you're right about Hugh Jackson wants Tyrod to be the guy. So I think he wanted to see Baker struggle a little bit, so he gives him extended playing time against a lot of sort of ragamuffin, but you got a lot of third stringers by the fourth quarter. But he goes to Antonio Callaway, who I'm going to guess he's going to get suspended because he had the incident where he got stopped the other day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marijuana, and he get tested positive. Had a failed test at the combine. I don't know. We'll see. He's already in at least stage 1, if not stage 2 of the program. So this is Callaway after the game. Right before that play, Baker told me if I get single high, meaning safety coverage, to win on the slant, and I did. So Baker goes to him and says, if you get that, do this, and I will hit you, and it will be a touchdown. And he drilled him. It was another strike right on the dot. Okay, this is big time. We're operating on second level here. You don't see this from kid quarterbacks.
It's a simple slant against single high safety, which is the easiest coverage to complete it against.
He goes and tells him, if you get this, high alert, you go.
Well, if you're a receiver and you have to read coverage, it's single high. All you have to do is get inside. He comes through the second window.
Antonio Callaway's another rookie. He's a third-round pick out of Florida. He's had a troubled past.
Well, I like to think they had to read coverages in college, Skip.
Okay, I don't think so.
But let me tell you what.
Like that.
This is where I will give you credit. It was an unbelievable throw. Not so much the call, if you get this, you get that. It was the throw.
Zing.
I give him credit.
It was. Zing.
See, when I look at Baker, I don't see what you see as far as lively arm. The ball doesn't jump out of his hand. He has I believe he has an average to slightly above average arm, Skip. Now, what's going to be interesting, you do know they play in Cleveland, right? And you know what November and December is like in Cleveland.
It does.
You also know what it's like in Pittsburgh, in Cincinnati. So we're going to see. So
we will.
We'll get an opportunity. They're outdoors. Every game he plays, especially in his division, is outdoors, and at one point or another, the weather's going to be terrible. It's going to be rain, it's going to be snow, it's going to be windy. So we'll get an opportunity to see if that arm is as lively as you said it is. I think he has an average to slightly above average arm. I don't see ball just jumps out like, ooh, man, you see that throw right there? Ooh.
I saw some zings.
No, I saw some throws that you like, okay, that's a nice throw. That was nice anticipation. He does have nice anticipation.
It's just a whip. It's quick release. I'm not saying he has a cannon. It's definitely above average. It will work. I mean, Tom Brady's got an above average arm.
Josh Allen arm is as advertised.
Okay. It's a big cannon.
I'm not going to say he's going to be able to play. I'm saying, but his arm talent is what they say, oh, this kid can really throw it. You watch him and you like, okay, yeah, he can throw it. Now, there's other parts of the game that comes along with playing quarterback. It's just not throwing the football.
The Cleveland Browns I watched last night had a new pep in their step. I can't explain it, but you just feel like there's new momentum where we saw Jarvis Landry's profanity-laced tirade. They're starting to say, we can do this.
Do they have a choice, Skip? Look at the D coordinators, Greg Williams. Look at the offensive coordinators, Todd Haley. Look at the head coaches, Hugh Jack. So do you really have a choice than to be any other way?
Those are some demanding people. Those are some crazy demanding people.
In your face.
Yep. Okay, and I like the defense because he will throw the kitchen sink at you, and he was throwing it occasionally early on at the Giants. So all of a sudden, momentum is building toward opening day. This is just me. I told you this right after the draft. If they throw Baker Mayfield into this fire on opening day, again, it's Pittsburgh and Cleveland, pretty big, pretty high stakes. Okay, this is just me. If you do, you'll be off to the races. I said they had a chance to be the storybook story of the year, to win 7 games. I could see him winning 7 games, and that would be historic turnaround from 0-16 and 1-31, right?
Yeah, yes. I don't see him starting against Pittsburgh, Skip. Not against that, no. Not as exotic as they get, that zone blitz, no way. No way.
Mike Tomlin would think he would have a field day.
He would.
And I'm going to say Baker Mayfield would have a field day.
Tyrod will hold him off, Skip. Now, I'm not going to say he will hold him off for the entire season, but I believe at least for the first 2 to 3 weeks of the season, Tyrod would hold him off.
Okay. If it's Hugh Jackson's decision, you will be right. If it's John Dorsey's decision, the new GM who did not hire Hugh Jackson but did pick Baker Mayfield against the grain, number 1 overall in the draft,
yes,
I believe Baker will start because John Dorsey will finally say, why waste time? Just let's go with it. It's Peyton Manning. I'm not saying he's Peyton Manning, but Peyton is a kid. They just threw him right in. He led the NFL in interceptions. The team wasn't all that good, but you got him on schedule to grow up. You kept him ahead of schedule.
But you also have to understand what Peyton had around him. He had Marvin Harrison, who ended up going to the Hall of Fame. His running back was Marshall Faulk. Peyton Manning has said Marshall Faulk was one of the most influential players because he was a quarterback at the running back position, and he helped him immensely. Now, I don't see that on this roster. They also threw Andrew Luck in. They just, hey, sink or swim.
They did.
Cam Newton, sink or swim.
They did.
Everybody does, but also.
By the way, Cam swam, but go ahead.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But here's the thing, Skip. All those guys, they cleared the decks. Now, had they cleared the decks or left everything intact, Kaiser's there, Kessler, Cody Kessler, he's there. No problem. But when you bring in Tyrod Taylor, who's a proven vet, who's a Pro Bowler, who took a team to the playoffs, that's a different scenario than what these other quarterbacks faced.
Okay. So I'm also going to remind you, Baker Mayfield did everything he did last night with little to no running game to take any pressure off him. Because his roommate, Nick Chubb, and we saw in Hard Knocks, both of them landed about the same time, and Nick Chubb got left at baggage claim all by himself with two fans coming up saying, Are you a player? Do you play?
I love that.
Yeah, I played. I played at Georgia. You played at Georgia? Yeah, he played at Georgia. So he's just standing there and he took it. He just took it. He didn't get miffed or mad.
What are you supposed to do?
But he looked like he was standing at baggage claim last night on the field because he went 15 carries for a grand total of 11 yards. Yeah. That was the run game Baker Mayfield had last night.
Well, they're going to have to run it a little better.
They're going to have to run it better than that.
No matter who's the quarterback, Skip Bayless, they better run it better than 33 for 50.
Yep.
Or you're going to be in a heap of trouble.
So pretty soon they're going to have one of those giant posters of Baker Mayfield up there on one of those buildings, right?
Oh, my goodness, Skip, for real? Skip, it's one game. The dude has played 43 plays, a little over 2 quarters, and this is where you are?
I don't know. I just
what you mean you don't know?
I just got a feeling. Yeah, I just said it.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm a big Baker fan, but it might be too soon for me.
Yeah.
It might be a bit soon for me.
Just tad.
Just a little too soon.
I told you before. I said it before the draft. I
That's
said
your
it
guy.
after the draft.
Now you on this wagon now.
I said I'd pick him number 1, and he got picked number 1.
Okay.
Yep. Here we go.
And you say he set the bar high, but he's the kind of guy who he rises to the occasion every single time.
See, now
Jenny, I think you tried to talk yourself.
I'm on the Baker bandwagon.
Okay.
But you don't think he should.
Well, I haven't decided yet.
Oh, my
TBD.
goodness.
TBD.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. More of the Undisputed podcast is on the way, but first, a quick word from one of our sponsors. UFC featherweight Brian Ortega loves the fight, loves the strategy, and you know what else he loves? Toyo tires. Because, like Ortega, Toyo tires are as tough as they come, and they are the official tire of the UFC. There's a lot to love about Toyo tires. Aggressive design, proven on and off-road capabilities, tires for any weather, and the toughness to back it all up. We all know there's nothing worse than being stranded on the side of the road with a faulty tire. There's a confidence that comes with tough tires. So no matter what you're driving, no matter where you're driving, you can count on Toyo tires. Tough people love tough tires. If you're tough, these are the tires for you. Toyo tires. So the next time you need tires, ask for Toyo, the official tire of the UFC. Learn more at toyotires.com/UFC. Now, back to the show.
No mercy.
Dak Prescott and the Cowboys played their preseason opener against the 49ers last night. It was a short night for Dak, who only played the first series. He had a 12-yard run and threw a 30-yard touchdown pass to rookie Michael Gallup. Dak finished a perfect 3 for 3. So, Shannon, was that opening drive from Dak overrated or underrated?
Come on, be honest.
Only honesty here.
Overrated.
Do I have to clap on
Overrated. And you know it too, Skip Bayless. First of all, we see Dak doing what he does, dinking Dak. Oh, yeah, you saw that. What about them first 2 throws, Skip, if you don't mind me asking? Dinking Dak again.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Ward, who's...
It's called taking what the defense gives you. Go ahead.
But anyway, Jimmy Ward, who was in the game because Richard Sherman did not play, was in perfect position and misplayed the ball. You know that. I know that. It wasn't like Dak put the ball out there and Michael Gallup ran up on it. The dude is in perfect position. Why he stopped running, I don't know. He misplayed the ball. Dak did have a good scramble on a run. But You jumping up and down. You trying to do cartwheels off of what?
I haven't.
Yes, you did.
I haven't even spoken yet.
No, no. Last night, that Cowboys are back. Woo! I know you.
How do you know?
Because I know you. I know you.
You know.
You just, first of all.
You follow me?
No.
Are you stalking me on Twitter?
You just got excited about Baker Mayfield. Cleveland Browns they're not your team. The Cowboys, that's your team. And Dak does anything. Dak wiped his, you see Dak wiped his face? Oh, it's going to be a good year for him. It's going to be a good year for him. That's how you think.
He did wipe his face.
No, whatever, Skip. Skip, that, come on, it's nothing. This was another burger. 3 for 39, whatever it was. Okay, Skip, he was perfect. 3 for 3, one drive. That's what you want to. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to see. You want to go out there. Hey, probably gave him some guys. You're gonna play 10, 12 plays, put a drive together. Nah, we've seen enough. You're done. Okay, but you trying to make more about this drive than what was actually there. I'm not.
I haven't even.
Because I know you, but I'm not seeing right now, and these are my good glasses, Jen. I got the old.
I know, those are nice.
Yeah, I brought the good glasses out today because I wanted to see that.
They're not Steven Jackson good, but they're.
Oh, they're better than Steve, these old horn things. Because I already knew you were going to be saying some more bull jive. I want to make sure I can see it before it starts coming out.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good now.
Keep bull jiving.
No, you bull jiving, because you finna come with some bull jive talking about Dak was Brady-esque again.
Wow, I like that. Ooh, I got to write that down. I forgot about that. Brady-esque.
No, he wasn't, Skip.
Come on, Shannon.
So, is it my turn?
It's your turn.
How about that Dak Prescott? Did you see that last night? Did you see what happened? You have to put this in context. It's the opening drive post Dez Bryant. The Dez cloud has been lifted off this football team. It was up to Dak Prescott to set a new tone. This was significant because this was onward and upward, and Dak was playing it like it was the Super Bowl.
Leave Dez alone.
What, leave him alone? He wouldn't leave me alone all last year. Did he not wreck my year?
Or last night.
Or last night. That's okay. He can, whatever. We'll talk about that later in the show. But my point is, to your first point, it's 3rd and 9 in a preseason game, and he's going to play one series, and he takes off up the middle, and did he slide? He did not slide. He ran for it. He went head first for it because he was trying to set a new tone because this offense has taken so much criticism. He doesn't have any receivers. It's supposed to be Dak friendlier. Well, he just said, watch how friendly I can get on this play. And he just took off up the middle. And did he get the first down? He got the first down.
I want you to have that same conviction. When Cam runs and doesn't slide, or Andrew Luck, I want you to say, he's trying to send a message to his team. Okay, well, go ahead.
Andrew Luck is not in the same sentence as a runner as Dak Prescott.
No, it's not about, I'm talking about the quarter. I'm just saying.
Dak Prescott is a big man who can move a little bit.
Do you realize, Skip, trust me, Andrew Luck is probably bigger than Dak.
I don't think he is.
Andrew Luck's a big man, Skip.
He's taller, but he's not thicker.
He's 245. Dak's probably like 242. Yeah, Dak's solid.
Yeah.
He is. I give him credit.
Andrew Luck's what, 6'4"?
He's about 6'4", yeah.
6'4"?
Yeah, he's
okay, so Dak's 6'2", but he's 250. He's packing a punch, man.
Ooh.
Carrying a load.
I don't know if he should be 250 at 6'2".
He looked like people just bounce off him when he.
There ain't nobody bouncing. Okay, you let it run and think people go bounce off.
So then it finally becomes 2nd and 7 at the 30, and out of the blue comes Michael. He can gallop. What have I told you? He can gallop. He's a 3rd-round pick, and you know what? He caught that ball more cleanly and more smoothly with more speed than Dez Bryant caught any ball last year. I'm serious, he did. It was a sight for sore eyes because I'm not saying Michael Gallup will long-term be better than Dez Bryant. That's sweet right there. That's sweet.
What is the corner doing, Skip?
Did he shy away from that? There was a little contact coming. Did he not just catch it easily, cleanly, sweetly?
I just need you to tell me what was the corner doing.
I don't know. I don't care. Was it not a perfect throw? It was on the button.
Skip, if the corner keeps running, the ball hits him in his hands.
Okay, that's you seeing it. I'm seeing it with upside down. I'm seeing a perfect throw.
I bet you are seeing it upside down.
Dak Prescott has been criticized. He needs to throw the ball deep. And I keep saying, to whom? Well, maybe Michael Gallup. He ran 4.45 at his pro day, okay?
Good speed.
4.45, and he's 6'1", 200.
That's plenty big.
Bad, not
plenty
bad.
big, plenty fast enough.
All right. So, is he Dez Bryant? Nope, he will never be Dez Bryant. Is he pretty good? I think he might be pretty good. He could be lucky number 13. I didn't know he wore 13. That was pretty impressive to me. So he is from Atlanta, GA. He's Georgia born and bred.
Well, he might be all right.
That's what I thought.
He wasn't an ATL boy.
Yeah, and he sort of took the Shannon Sharp path. I don't know, maybe he had some grade issues or whatever, but he had to go to junior college in Kansas.
Okay.
You went to Savannah State.
I went to Savannah State.
But he wound up at Colorado State, and then he rose up to...
Well, first of all, Skip, junior college and Savannah State are entirely different.
I got it.
Junior college is the 13th grade.
Okay, but you should...
Savannah State is an accredited university.
Okay, all right, I'm with you, but you should have gone to the University of Georgia. Am I right?
I should.
You should have gone there.
I wanted to go somewhere else, though. But anyway, yeah, I get your point,
Where
Skip.
else?
Stop
Alabama?
rubbing.
Did you want to go to Alabama?
No, I wanted to go to Nebraska.
Nebraska?
Really?
Where did that come from?
God, Skip,
It's cold in Nebraska.
I know, but them jokers had them sleeves rolled up, and man, they were just running the ball. And
Hey, weight room.
Don't give me.
They got a long PED history there. I don't know. Did you fit in? I don't know.
No, I would have fit in. I would have fit in. I would have fit in with that. I would have fit in.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to go. Coach Osborne was probably my favorite coach.
Okay. All right. This is a confession.
I know.
Admission.
Yeah, Nebraska was my team.
All right. Well, Michael Gallup didn't make it to Nebraska. He didn't even make it to Savannah State. He made it to Colorado State. Yeah. He made it to Dallas via the third round. And that's a play that gets made by a kid on the opening drive, albeit of just the first preseason game. And you just say, flash. He flashed.
That's huge, though.
That's impressive.
Yeah, for a rookie. I remember catching a touchdown. I caught a touchdown, Skip. It wasn't an opening game. It was the third game against the 49ers, who had just won the Super Bowl, against their number one corner. I was like, ooh, man, I might could do a little something in this thing. John threw me the ball. Buster play ran a slant. The guy jumped it inside. I wheeled out. John put it up at the back of the end zone. I caught it. All my teammates going. So this would be huge for this kid.
Yeah.
So in the end, there's no Cole Beasley last night. Tavon Austin was not playing early. He played later, and he caught a couple of nice balls that were mid-range catches. He had 25 total yards, like 12 and 13 yards. And I liked what I saw because they played him as a pure wideout. Right. They split him wide. So I liked what I saw. I liked what I saw from Jalen Smith, who looked like the Jalen Smith that I saw at Notre Dame. It took him 2 full years to come back from that horrific injury, and he is looking explosive to me. He was blowing plays up. And the guy you always ridicule, Taco Charlton, he was disrupting last night. Second year pass rusher, you finally get a hold of it. You're going to be in trouble.
Ain't no tacos. Yep. Ain't no tacos.
Tacos.
Ain't no tacos going on.
For everyone.
Oh, in the preseason last year, Jenny, he was all hype. He was making tacos. Oh, everybody gonna be eating tacos. Nobody at Cowboys Stadium got one taco last year, courtesy of not taco. But look, I will say this. There was no Zeke in the backfield either, so there's really no threat of them.
Rod Smith's a big load, too.
Yeah, but Rod Smith ain't Zeke Elliott. I mean, Zeke forces you to say, okay, how are we going to play today? Where we're going to play, we're going to continuously drop this safety down. So he'll know it's already a single high safety. It wasn't there, makes a play, but Skip, you make it seem like the dude drove, this was like the Super Bowl, and this was a drive, 10-play, 90-yard drive in the Super Bowl for the game winner.
It's a statement.
It ain't no statement.
It's onward and upward without Dez Bryant.
Well, I got a statement for you. First game, preseason.
Okay? Every once in a while, the first game in the preseason can be significant. You have to look between the lines at the backstory. The backstory is there's no more 88 on that roster. 88's at home tweeting madly about the Cowboys and the Browns.
You're the only person that can read a book, and the book has nothing about what you're reading, but you'll come away with something entirely different.
Yeah, and every time I tell you this, then you look back in 2 or 3 months and you say, it was right.
No, when they look back in 2 or 3 months and the Cowboys are what I thought they would be, 3-5, and you're going to be like, who you going to blame it on then?
What have I told you this all through camp? I got a good feeling about these Cowboys. I stand by that.
You got a good feeling, huh?
Yep. Playoffs, here we come. Diet Dew, here I come. Thank you.
Kale Peck to kick it in.
A lot of that, too.
Yeah. He wasn't feeling good this morning.
Oh, okay.
But he had something. Now, all of a sudden, he's feeling good after one drive.
Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott. It was a good night. It was a good night.
That's a good way to start the day.
Yeah. Hey, that was good for NFL Network last night. Baker and Dak.
Baker and Dak. Okay.
No mercy.
Next up, we're going to talk about now the Panthers and the Bills who played last night. But more importantly, Cam Newton confronted his former teammate Kelvin Benjamin before the game. Benjamin called out Cam this week, saying he would have been better off with a more accurate and smarter QB than Cam. So Cam sought out Benjamin before the game, even telling his teammate Thomas Davis to go away. Benjamin tried to walk away, but Cam kept following him. Benjamin was asked about it after the game. Let's take a listen.
I was just moving on from it, I guess.
What did he say to you? Cam.
I mean, not serious, really.
What did you say to him?
Moving on from it.
It looked like you tried to walk away from him a few times.
Huh?
It looked like you tried to walk away from him a few times.
Yeah, just moving on from it.
You didn't want to get into it.
Yeah.
What was he trying to say to you?
I don't even know. I wasn't even trying to listen.
Wasn't trying to listen. Okay, Shannon, what do you read into this?
This had nothing to do with football. When he said what he said, that was not football related. This is deeper than this. Now, I don't know what exactly it is. I have my suspicions, but I'm just gonna keep those to myself. Cam tried to handle this like a man, Skip. You walk up to and he came up. You look at him. He had his hands behind his back, so he's coming up in a non-threatening, non-confrontational manner. Bro, what's up? Because Cam and Kelvin Benjamin, Cam calls him Benji, were great friends.
Yep.
They used to hang out together. Fact. That's not conjecture.
No.
That's fact. They used to hang out.
It.
Come to Atlanta, kick it with Cam.
Yep.
Drive Cam whips. That's neither here nor there. Skip, for you to take a shot at this man from afar, it's not football related, Skip. Something went on, something happened. We may never know. Because for me, I give you a prime example, Skip. About a month ago, we were talking about the Hall of Fame. And I was talking about we were talking about T.O., and I said, and I was in context. And, I know what it was about. It was about Randy Moss mentoring Jameis Winston. Mm-hmm. But I said, you know, Randy now is a different person than he was back then. Mm-hmm. I said, but Randy issues with immaturity. Mm-hmm. Jameis has a totally different issue. Where Randy comes in, he's working out. He just sees me talking, and he assumes that I'm being negative. He tweets at Shannon Sharp, you got a problem with me? I know you being real negative. I get on the phone with somebody that knows him, knows me. I said, hey, let me get Randy's number. I get his number. I call Randy. I said, Moss, what's up? He said, man, no. He's like, man, you just, you know, lately, man, you just been real negative. You been on me, dog.
That's good.
I said, Randy, let me give you context. I said, I wasn't being negative. I said, if you go back and listen to what I said, actually, I was being very positive. Talk to him like a man. I'm not going back and forth, no beef or nothing like that, because it wasn't like that. I was just trying to explain the situations are entirely different. Randy had maturity issues. Jameis has other issues. But hey, here nor there. For Cam to go out of his way is like, bro, what's up? We used to be cool. What's this about? If you got a problem, Skip, and my thing was I wasn't gonna go back and forth with Randy on Twitter. I can just call him. Okay, Benji, you got a problem with me? Bro, talk to me. You could have picked up the phone and called me. Yep. Okay, I'm here now. That's why he motioned Thomas away.
He did. Thomas Davis.
Thomas Davis. Yep. Nobody needs to hear this. No microphones are around. Mm-hmm. What's up, bro? What's the problem? You got a problem? Mm-hmm. I mean, was something said, something done? Skip, this ain't no football. This ain't about no cover two. This is not this is not about you missing me on a slant or you missing me on a back shoulder fade. This is something deeper than this. Play too long. We questioned for the longest time, we questioned Cam's maturity. This is the time, this is one of those times I thought Cam was real mature because he handled it like a man. I'm going to come up, I was wondering, bro, we used to be cool. Yep. We not cool anymore. Why? What happened?
I respect and I appreciate the way Cam Newton handled that last night because his whole body language was, I don't want to fight. I just want to talk.
Right.
As you said, he put his hands behind his back and locked them behind his back, and he kept his earbuds in, which would indicate, you know, if you pull your earbuds, maybe it's like, let's go right here. Let's settle it right here. But he kept them in, and he challenged Kelvin to his face on Kelvin's turf. This game was at Buffalo.
Right.
So it's not at Charlotte, you know. This is where you're saying, okay, I'm on your field.
Right.
And I'm asking you to tell me, and then Thomas Davis tries to mediate. Nope, no. This is between us.
Right.
And remember, Thomas Davis has been there. This is his 14th season.
Yeah,
he is a Panther, man.
Yes.
And he is the leader, certainly of the defense, and you could argue of the football team, right? So he's trying to break a little ice there, and Cam says, no. Us here. And obviously they have a deep relationship. And then as it started to evolve, you could see that Cam was the bigger man, literally and figuratively, because Cam's bigger than Kelvin Benjamin. Well, I'm looking at the video saying, look how big Cam is. Because Kelvin Benjamin is, for a receiver, he's a giant, right? And he was literally and then figuratively the bigger man because Kelvin Benjamin wouldn't stand up to him.
Right.
He wouldn't tell him.
Right.
He couldn't deal with him. He said, as we just saw, I wasn't even trying to listen. Well, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Because he knew he didn't have a comeback.
Right.
It caught him off guard. It caught him flat-footed.
But what did he expect, Skip? He made this comment last week. You know you played him in a week.
I don't know.
Why not wait until after this game? You're never going to see him again. I don't think they play in the regular season, and you've been done with it. You wouldn't have had.
But as you know, during warm-ups, sometimes you just don't cross paths. So he might have thought it wasn't going to happen.
No. I'm saying Kelvin Benjamin, why make this comments when you know you're going to play? The Panthers and the Bills are going to play in the preseason.
I don't know how many weeks before. I don't know when the interview was conducted.
I think it was just last week. It just came out last week.
In The Athletic, yeah.
So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm not saying you should have made the comment, but if you're going to make it, why not just go ahead and make it? Then you don't have to worry, especially after this game, you don't have to worry about seeing Cam to maybe the offseason if you're bumping each other.
Okay, but he had an opportunity to have said it even a few days ago and stand up to it.
Right.
Back it up.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I said this because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And I stand by it.
Right.
And if he'd looked Cam in the eye and said, that's just the way I feel,
Right.
I don't know how Cam can come back on that one.
How you feel about what? Bro, you had your best years with me. I had my best years without you. So I'm trying to figure out the problem.
Okay.
You done come to my house. We party together. You eat my food. Ride with me. You know, that's what Skip. This is what I tell you. And I just tweeted this morning. So you got to be careful about who you let in your boat. When they're in the boat with you, Skip, make sure they're rowing and not drilling holes when you're not watching. You got to know your circle. Now, Cam probably thought he and Benji was cool. And then you're going to come out and say something like this. So this lets me know, Skip, we were really never cool. Because nothing's going to come between. Look, Ray and I might have had difference of opinions. He got upset, I got upset. We're not going to fall out. We're going to be friends. I done been to his house, he done been to my house.
Okay, so Kelvin, what he said about Cam it was intended to make Kelvin look better. It was intended to say, I could have been much better in Carolina.
Right.
It was his fault.
Right.
And what he's got on his side is Cam is a career 59% passer, so he's not the most accurate thrower, but still, they were both pretty good together.
Right.
I mean, I can make a case that Cam made him look better.
He did, but here's the thing, though, Skip. Had Cam not been Rookie of the Year, Cam not been an MVP, he would have an even better argument. But Cam was an All-Pro. He's been an MVP. He's been Rookie of the Year. He's gone to the Pro Bowl 3 or 4 times. So when you say, well, yeah, I could have been better, but Cam is having his best years without you.
Yep. And then the shot got even worse when he said, I could have been better with anybody. He even went to Eli, right? Like better with Eli.
Yeah, that's where he lost me. I'm like, huh? Eli?
What? Really?
Nah.
Who's led the league in interceptions 3 times?
But like I said, this has nothing to do with a comeback. This has nothing to do with a misread. This is something deeper. And Cam was trying to get to the bottom of it. And Benji was all in his feelings. And it happens sometimes. You know, hey, guys, we get in our feelings too. And Benji was in his feelings. And, you know, Cam was like, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
No, I ain't trying to hear him. That lets me know right there. When somebody say, I ain't trying to hear, he in his feelings.
Yeah,
he in his feelings.
Well, to both of their credit, once the game started, Kelvin was pretty good. He had 4 targets and caught all 4 of them for 59 yards and had a 28-yard touchdown and jumped up in the stands. And Cam was pretty good last night, too, because he hit 6 out of 9 passes, and that's 67%.
Yeah.
So they both backed up at least their play on the field.
I think Cam's going to have a really good year this year. under Norv Turner, the new offensive coordinator.
It's going to be tough. Norv has never coached this kind of quarterback.
Nope.
Norv is strictly prototype pocket passer, and I just don't know. And he can wear on people because I know him very well. And now his son is the quarterback coach. So there's no buffer there. It's father, son, and quarterback.
Cam wants to get better. He's put the time in the offseason. He's gone in the lab. He'll be better. Can you get me better? All this other stuff about how look. And sometimes coaches, Skip, they coach, well, this is the way Cam Newton's nothing like Troy Aikman.
Nothing like.
They're night and day different. Troy was a rhythm.
Or Phillip Rivers.
No, that's not what he is. But Norv, you're going to have to adjust his way of thinking. But you can't coach everybody the same. Coach Belichick does. But he's one of the few guys that coaches everybody the same, and that's hard.
Yep.
You have to understand, I think the really, really great coaches, and Coach Belichick is a great coach, but he's an anomaly. You have to understand that each guy is different and they're individual. So some guys you can kick in the butt.
Yep.
Some guys you got to put your arms around. Some guys you can be funny with. Your job as a coach is to understand what gets to the guy and what makes him his best self. That's what you have to do.
Well, Norv and Cam are both going to have to bend some here.
Yes.
If they do, it'll click.
Yes. Yeah,
but Norv's he's high football IQ.
But I think you and I both agree this has very little to do with football.
Oh, yeah.
I liked your point about maturity, though. If that's what's been questioned, he seemed to approach it in the best way possible. And we'll see if this speech is over.
No mercy.
And back to the NFL. Andrew Luck was on the field last night for the first time in 585 days. I couldn't believe that. He played 2 series in the Colts win and finished 6 for 9 for 64 yards. He even got hit hard on a run, but he bounced back up. And after the game, Luck talked about how much fun he had in his first game back. Let's take a listen.
For a moment there, I was like, okay, how do I approach it? Especially as leading up to the game, or to try to control my emotions. And I just sort of said, screw it. I'm going to go out. Whatever I want to think and I want to feel, I'm going to feel it and let that happen. And it was a little bit like pressure was off of me in a sense. And I really had fun. Like I really enjoyed it. And like I've told you guys earlier, I didn't quite know how much fun, if I would have this much fun again practicing football. I didn't know if I'd have this much fun again playing football. And it's a preseason game, I'm not going to overblow anything or blow anything out of proportion, but it's still a game, and it's still a chance to go up against another color jersey, and it was a fun step along the way.
It's good to see the smile on his face, though. That is a long time away from the game. Shannon, how impressive was Luck last night?
I wouldn't go overly impressive.
Okay.
I was glad to see Grizzly Adams get back out there on the field. You remember that? You remember that TV show, Skip? We're gonna
comparison is
we're dating ourselves. But Skip, I thought he looked well. All in all, I thought he looked well. A lot of rim throws. Everything was really short. Nothing was pushed down the field. So I'm still anxious to see because he just started throwing the football probably 4 or 5 months ago. After being away from the game and not throwing for 19 months. So it was good. I'm glad. I'm sure in his mind, he's like, man, I didn't know if and when this day was ever going to come and if I would feel this good afterwards. He took a shot. Skip, when you're coming off an injury, and people say when you get that first hit, and you get up. No. When I broke my collarbone in '99 and then I went to Baltimore in 2000, Skip, getting hit in the thigh wasn't what I needed. Getting hit in my chest wasn't what I needed. I needed to get tackled, fall on my left shoulder, and get up to let me know everything was healed and I was okay. He took that shot on his right shoulder from Bobby Wagner, and he bounced up, and he was like, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. But I want to see him push the ball down the field, Skip. You're not going to make a living dinking and dunking like somebody else I know. So you're going to have to get some of those 30, 40-yard throws. And last night, a lot of rim, which are swing routes for the running back, and a lot of short throws. So, but it was good to see him out there. He looked like he's in good health. I think as this preseason progresses, we'll see him open up and he'll push the ball down the field.
By the way, is a 30-yard touchdown throw a dink or a dunk?
Skip,
I just want to know. I just
why
want to
are
know.
you going back to that?
No,
I'm not talking about that.
You went back to it.
No, I didn't.
You said like somebody else, clearly referring back to Dak Prescott, who you say dinks and dunks, and he threw a 30-yard strike.
I didn't.
To Michael Gallup. And he can really gallop.
Good name.
All I said, there are a lot of guys that, bing, 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 bing.
This was the ultimate dink and dunk night. I've never seen dinking and dunking quite like this dinking and dunking. He had one 17-yard completion to Marlon Mack, his running back, because it was just a little flip to the perimeter, who he caught and ran with it for 17 yards. Mm-hmm. So I know it was like a feel-good story, but it was tinged with sadness for me because this guy was the first pick in the draft. Yeah. This was supposed to be the next John Elway, dare I say?
Peyton Manning. Because that's the guy he replaced.
I don't know, yeah.
He's always going to be compared to him, Skip.
Because he went to Stanford, it was always John Elway.
Yep.
Who also went to Stanford, obviously.
And your guy, who you know very well, Mel Kiper, say he was the highest-rated quarterback that he's graded since Elway.
John Elway. So that's that guy who I thought would come out last night driven. I thought he would be on a mission and he'd say, this is just step one. I thought he would be very serious after the game and say, this is just progress, but I got a long way to go and I'm going to show you. Like he wouldn't say that, but his remarks, his demeanor would say, I'm going to show you, I'm going to come back full force here and I'm going to play like the first pick in the draft.
Right.
And I'm going to play like I'm the next it guy in this league. I thought we'd get, because he's not too old yet, you know, he's lost a big stretch of his career, but he was like some fan who got to play with the players for a couple of players. That's how it came across. He was like a kid, like, I'm out here with the real guys, like, oh.
Well, Skip, it's been 19 months.
Yeah, I guess.
And he said he didn't know. He didn't know if he was going to play again.
And then the play you talk about is 3rd and 3 at the 16, and he carries the ball, and Bobby Wagner didn't exactly blow him up.
Oh, he didn't get him flush. He didn't get him flush. You're right.
He blasted him. He took him down. Okay, so he takes him down. Andrew rolls over, and he jumps up like he just made a first down in the Super Bowl. But he didn't even make the first down. He was just jubilant, to your point, because he rolled over on his shoulder. Yeah. Jubilant, like, I'm back on an NFL field in a preseason game. Like he thought it would never happen again. I don't know. It was just kind of sad to me. I hope he bounces back. He still has much to prove as an NFL quarterback. I still think his career overall has been more disappointment than success.
It's incomplete, Skip.
Okay, maybe incomplete.
Because you think about it, the first 2 years.
Given the hype, given the build-up, given the draft status.
And who he replaced.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, had Peyton gone to Denver and not done anything, that would have been, everybody would have said, okay, I can see why Jim Irsay did what he did.
By the way, I was on the record before that move was made. I said, Jim Irsay is making a huge mistake here, the biggest mistake he will ever make.
Right.
And Peyton went and should have won 2 MVPs in Denver and did get to 2 Super Bowls. I know one was a disaster, but he won the other one, not doing all that much, but he still won it.
Right.
He did enough.
Exactly. And so I think that's the problem that Andrew Luck's up against. The guy that he replaced. You got to realize the guy he replaced won 4 MVPs in that building. He won a Super Bowl, went to another, and then
that was the house that Peyton built.
Exactly. Yeah. And he has a floor at a children's hospital named after him. Yep. So he's up, and there's a statue of Peyton. So every time he goes to that building, he sees Peyton. And so that's what he's up against, Skip. The deck is stacked against him. You replaced the guy, not only that, what he left there, what he accomplished after he left there. So people are like, well, hold on, why did we get rid of Peyton again? He threw for 37 touchdowns. He threw for 55 touchdowns. He threw for 39 touchdowns. And we haven't even been to the Super Bowl yet. And Peyton's been to 2 after we got rid of him.
Yeah.
Here I am over here, like smiling. I want to cry, and you're just saying it's pathetic that he's happy.
You're Gee Whiz Jenny.
I mean, I was so excited for the guy. It's been 585 days.
I know. I got
it. Can't he be happy to be back?
Skip, he didn't even get a first down, and he's slapping high five like, yeah.
He was so
like,
what? I like that.
And the official like, 4th down.
You got 1 yard. You needed 3.
Can he
what
start
are you doing?
slowly? And
what are you doing?
I love how happy he was.
By the way, I got to call Shannon Sharp on something before we leave this topic.
What?
You said when you went to Baltimore, you didn't need just like a knee in the thigh or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what Kawhi Leonard got. He got only a knee in the thigh. It was just a knee in the thigh.
Well,
he didn't play the rest of the year.
Well, here's the thing, Skip. I played basically my whole career without thigh pads, knee pads, and hip pads.
Thank you.
That was cool.
Thank you.
NFL makes them wear thigh pads now.
Yep.
But I heard them to be cool, you know.
Painful.
I got one.
You had iron thighs.
No. I got a thigh. I got a cleat. Guy kicked me and punched a hole in and I slept the whole night. I took my belt and tied it right, and I slept with my leg bent. No, I slept with my leg bent the whole night.
Why didn't you get it checked out?
What's up?
Doesn't seem smart.
I was a rookie, Jenny.
I know.
It's like primitive. Were you like sleeping out in the forest?
I had heard that someone said that if you do that, you'll be okay. I wasn't okay.
No, you would not be okay.
It hurt.
Really dangerous.
I had a knot and I had a hole in my thigh.
Did you get it fixed later?
No. I just played through it.
Still got a hole. Okay.
You have to play through a lot on this show.
When you a rookie,
you take a lot of shots.
When you if I was a first rounder, Jenny, or a second rounder, I would have went to Greek. Okay. But since I was not, I was a seventh rounder, Greek never knew about it. Greek was the athletic trainer.
All right. Well, with the NFL being back, the national anthem protests are also back, and we're going to talk a bit more about what we saw last night with Rob Parker next.
No mercy.
A number of NFL players continued to protest during the national anthem last night. 2 Dolphins players, Kenny Stills and Albert Wilson, took a knee. 7 players from the Jaguars and Seahawks left the field and stood in the tunnel and locker room. And a handful of players raised fists. The league released a statement saying, quote, "There has been no change in the policy regarding the national anthem. All players and non-player personnel are expected to stand. Personnel who do not wish to do so can choose to remain in the locker room." The president tweeted this morning, quote, "A football game is no place to protest. Find another way." We are joined by Rob Parker, but I'm going to start with you, Shannon. What is your takeaway from what you saw last night?
Skip, and Rob, I didn't anticipate this many. I thought it would be, I didn't anticipate Malcolm Jenkins of Philly.
Sure.
I said he was going to do something.
Yep.
And I thought Kenny Stills, because he was one of those, the coalition guys. So I was like, it'll be 1 or 2 guys.
Okay.
But I didn't anticipate this many. And we saw Jacksonville, and we saw some guys in Seattle.
They stayed in the locker room.
Right. And we saw some guys get the introduction and then go back to the locker room.
They did.
But what we talked about, Skip, guess what? We're counting. Oh, see, introduction, 3 guys went back to the locker room. 3 guys didn't even come out. 2 guys was doing this, 2 guys were doing that. And see what happened, and I think the reason why we're seeing so many is that they heard the owners, like, yeah, guys, we understand. We really do. But we're gonna pass this legislation to say you guys got to stand. So in other words, the players are like, you really don't, or you really don't care to understand. So guess what? We're gonna have to keep it going. And I know people's like, oh, but the awareness has been raised. You know, Dak used the awareness. Guess what, Skip? In October, they're gonna have a month. They're going to have pink to raise what, Skip? Awareness. Why are they still doing that? Haven't awareness been raised for breast cancer?
Don't we know about it already?
Yeah, haven't
been going on for years.
You see,
years.
You see how hypocritical that is? The awareness in one thing that you want to talk about, awareness is good.
But only, Shannon, because they could sell breast cancer awareness stuff.
They can sell that pink
stuff.
Exactly.
That's why they keep doing it.
Skip, and it's like, for me, I couldn't tell you, and we did come out for the national anthem, and I stood, but I can't tell you who was standing next to me. I was getting my mind ready to go to battle, literally go to battle. I wasn't thinking about who. I didn't go stand next to. I mean, some people they go stand next to the same guy every single week. Skip, that was the last thing on my mind. Who was going to be standing next to me?
Well, and as journalists, I think it was the last thing on my mind. We weren't watching.
And Skip, players. We have stood up more than anybody in this country.
Right.
Because we don't have one season.
Right.
Football season, baseball season, basketball season, hockey season, every game we've ever gone to, we have stood up.
Right. Sure. So with that being said, again, we're looking at the protesters. We're talking about who's not there as opposed to what the gesture actually means. And again, the narrative. Okay, 1, 2, 3. He's not here. Where is Skip? I'm not worried about who's not there. As long as Skip is ready to get on that field, I'm not worried about if he's in the locker room, he's standing toe-to-line, line, or he's on the bench. All I need to know is when we go on that field, that Skip's ready to go play football. That's what I'm worried about. And that's what the players are worried about. It's these but I am surprised, back to Jenny's original question, I'm surprised as many people protested as it was last night.
I'm going to say bravo.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised because I understand all the pressure and guys with jobs, and I get all that. But this country, people have had to make sacrifices. There's always been sacrifices made. And in this case, what I thought about Shannon and Skip was those guys back in the 60s where they held up signs in the 50s talking about, I am a man. I am a man. That's what I thought of, because when owners, I don't care who they are, what job you do, when they tell you what you can't do and you know your rights in this country, just because I wear a football uniform once or twice a week doesn't mean I can't express myself in a non-violent way.
Right.
I'm not telling you, Skip Bayless, you have to kneel down or you have to follow my cause, right? I'm not telling the fans, hey, everybody in the stands, you kneel down and you be a part of this. But I should have a right in my own space to do what I want to do. And I think this is where I keep saying Roger Goodell is the worst commissioner, not of the NFL, but the worst commissioner from this standpoint. He never got a grasp of what was going on. He never tackled it when it first started. He never made it clear to the owners that this thing, as we talked about, was dying down. There were fewer people. And what did they do? Throw gasoline on the fire when you tell people you can't do something. You can't tell me what, over a job? And I get it. There's only, 1,200 guys who get to play in the NFL, and it's a unique situation. You make a lot of money, but it doesn't define who you are as a person ultimately. Most guys play, 3.5 years in the NFL?
2.5 now.
2.5 years, and then you're out. And you're on, you better get a life, and you got to be the ones being, seeing people stopped and harassed and bothered, and to just ignore it and act like because I'm in this lofty position, I shouldn't care about the rest is ridiculous. I applaud the NFL players for taking such a stand and going against the grain when everybody wants them to bow down. It was the end of the world with Michael Vick in the dog cage, right? Oh, my God, he killed dogs. Let's get him. He had to go to jail. He can't play in the league. He can't do anything. And you're telling me that when unarmed men were being gunned down by black men gunned down by white cops, that's not a reason to at least stand up and be counted and said, this is not right.
I'm with you, but don't discount what Michael did.
I didn't discount it. I'm just comparing it, Skip, to
I'm with you.
People were more outraged by that
I got it.
than they are by what happened to human beings.
Not always true, but
not everybody.
I know. Okay. So help me out here. Where would we be here and now if the President of the United States didn't continue to attack the protesting NFL players on Twitter and question the legitimacy of their cause?
Exactly.
That's what's happening.
Because you say they don't even know why they're doing it.
They don't even know why they're doing it. This happens again and again. It's like right on schedule because it's good for him and his constituents. He's playing to a crowd, and to your point, and I'm not as political as you are, but it's a great distraction from what else is going on. The real much more important in that realm, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what if he were silent on this issue? Where would we be now? Would we be in a different place?
I believe so, Skip. And here's the thing. Had the owners taken a stance in 2016 without President Trump weighing in, because the stance that they took was the stance that President Trump got on a stage in Huntsville, Alabama, saying they should be kicked out. And then so you adopt the policy that you're going to suspend them. So the players are looking at, hold on, you're just echoing what he said. You didn't even say this at first. We've been doing this for a year and a half, and you never said a word. It wasn't until he said that, now all of a sudden you got a problem with what we're doing. And it's about to be an ongoing problem.
Okay. So, to me, as I step back from this, I think of what Aaron Rodgers said the other day. He recommended, from his vantage point, that NFL players, and he's mostly talking about black players, some white players, no longer, just don't respond to the president anymore. Because if you don't respond, you don't fuel it. You don't give it longer life. It just goes away after a while. And I told Shannon on the show, in a vacuum, I get that. But Aaron Rodgers is a white man. He's not a black man. So the president of the United States is challenging the black players, and in the bigger picture, he's challenging the black community on this issue. Well, this is deep. This is powerful. So to me, he is flaunting his power, and that's the ultimate power, right?
Yes.
He's flexing his power.
Yes.
Well, as a group, the black players in the National Football League are 75%. Are we saying 75%?
Right, 75%. Yep.
Yeah.
They hold a lot of power too. So I am good if they want to relaunch this, if you want to call it protest. It wouldn't bother me if we had rampant kneeling on next week or opening Sunday or whenever they wanted to do it as a group, because they need to stand up and fight back and say no.
Yes.
And I would not blame them. And again, I'm coming from a different vantage point here, but that's me. That I was good. It made me feel good that some protested last night, and there are lots of different ways.
Right.
And some of them were more minor sort of ways. But if Jacksonville wants to stay in, I don't like that, because you're sort of going along with the policy that was originally in place, right?
Right.
If you want to stay in the locker room, stay in the locker room, which I did not like either. So out of sight, out of mind, you can do what you want.
That's what they want to do, right? They want to see. Right.
But then you get lumped in because people are counting.
Yeah.
Well, where was Tevin Smith?
But
where was Leonard Fournette?
I said that the first day. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
That's why that's wrong. But I'm okay if there's ramped up protests from here on, because you need to, I hate to use that phrase, stand your ground, but you need to toe your
push
line.
Back.
Yeah, you need to push back.
And the NFL players, the union has always been weak or whatever, but I will give, I was proud of NFL players who just didn't buckle under and say, I'm going to fall in line, and okay, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just kind of move forward. And the other part is, this is where Goodell comes in. Colin Kaepernick, I think if they would not have done that to Colin Kaepernick, this is probably would have moved forward as well. And that was the thing that I think where a commissioner has to come in.
Eric Reed in.
Am I right? And say, dude, we just can't. We can't do this. This is not good for anybody, for the league, for the players, for the morale. We won't be able to get guys to understand how important this is when you're doing blackballing people from playing who should be in the league.
There's a saying that says, what you allow is what will continue.
Yes.
Name the person that stops negative behavior without accountability. So if you let President Trump says whatever, do whatever.
I am with you. No.
He will continue, because if you would have, a lot of people would have done that in the beginning, because the way they could have done it is that when he comes up on that primary ticket, let him be in last place instead of first place. Where you put him in first place, he said, "Oh, so you agree with what I say?"
Right, absolutely.
So you like what I'm saying. The more outlandish and the more racist and when you criticize
John McCain,
and then you make fun of the handicapped, the disabled reporter
from the New York Times,
and the more outlandish things you said, the more you rose. What's the Skip?
What's the stop?
If you reward negative behavior, you're going to get more of that.
You are.
These players, man, don't back down. Do your thing.
Okay, I keep telling you, don't respond to Joe Nobody on Twitter.
Right.
But that's Joe Nobody. This is Joe Somebody. This is the biggest somebody.
Yes.
And I hate to see this sort of degenerate to NFL black players versus President Trump, but
that's where he took it there.
He took it there, and he represents the other side of your cause.
Yeah.
Right?
This is the one part I just don't understand, even if you're not into the protest. I'm not sure how, like, the fans who are so bothered, I don't understand how it affects them at all. If you go,
I think a lot more people are enlightened, and the polls are starting to suggest that it's starting to swing back to, oh, we get it now, so we're okay with it. And people are starting to accept it as it's become sort of part of
I just want to know, Skip, I want to know Rob, I want to know one thing. Why wouldn't he stick to politics?
I don't know.
Shannon, you do sports. Don't stay out of politics. Why would he stay out of sports?
It's a great issue, so he can preach to his choir.
Exactly.
He can't help himself. But these tweets aren't going away. I mean, they're threatening. Like, the last thing he said was stand or be suspended without pay. Like, these are not going away.
And guess what, Skip? That's what the owner said. That's what he said in Huntsville.
Yep.
Like 8 months ago, almost a year ago.
Okay, and I don't know if I should read anything into this, but I'll just throw it out. Remember, Donald Trump was real close to buying the Buffalo Bills in 2014. Is there any sort of spite there?
Oh, yeah, he's still upset.
Because
they didn't want him in the club, right?
It felt like that.
They don't.
The Pagula family offered a little bit more.
Yeah.
1.2. He said he put $1 billion in cash on the table.
Whatever.
Okay. Whatever. But whatever. What if would history have changed in many, many ways if the NFL had said, "Yeah, we'll give you the Buffalo Bills"? Then he would not be president of the United States.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Woo. Yeah. That would be. Damn, why'd y'all let him buy it? I'm like Florida Evans. Damn.
Wow, what could have been? Rob, thank you for joining us.
No mercy.
Thank you for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning, featuring this week's best segments. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.